buenas tardes a todas, a todos, a todes. Gracias por acompañarnos en este ciclo de entrevistas virtuales del Women Economic Forum Argentina 2020. Hoy tenemos la segunda entrevista y hoy tenemos una invitada muy, pero muy especial, que es la creadora del WEF, la CEO global del WEF. Va a estar con nosotros acompañándonos Harbeen Arora, desde India. Pero previo a dar inicio a esta segunda entrevista, no puedo dejar de mencionar que hoy se cumplen 5 años del movimiento Ni Una Menos. No es un día para celebrar, es un día para seguir adelante con esta lucha. Desde hace 5 años que comenzó este movimiento por el femicidio de Chiara Páez. A partir de ese momento, las mujeres de todas las áreas, las feministas, tomamos la calle para empezar y seguir con esta lucha para que no nos maten más a todas. Hoy se cumplen 5 años, pero tengo que dar muy malas noticias, porque desde enero a junio del 2020 se realizaron 124 femicidios atroces. Y desde el confinamiento por el aislamiento obligatorio del COVID, 61 femicidios. Son cifras atroces y que tenemos que tomar muy, pero muy en cuenta porque este confinamiento está afectando absolutamente a las mujeres y provoca estos femicidios. Por eso no puedo dejar de mencionarlo. Estamos presentes en esta lucha desde el WEF y por eso quería hacer este recordatorio. Ahora sí, vamos a dar inicio a esta segunda entrevista. Buenos días, Harbeen. Buenos días, Giselle, que es nuestra directora ejecutiva, que también va a estar acompañándonos. Buenos días. Buenas tardes.
Buenos días.
Bien, Harbeen. Bueno, Harbeen es la CEO global del WEF, como bien lo dije. Es la fundadora de All League y es presidenta de la Cámara de Comercio e Industria de Mujeres de la India. Bueno, Harbeen, preguntarte, ¿qué te ha inspirado para crear el Women Economic Forum y para, de esta manera, enlazar esta lucha por el empoderamiento económico de las mujeres de todos lados del mundo? ¿Cuál fue tu motivación? ¿Qué te llevó adelante para crear desde el año 2015 el WEF?
Thank you, my soul sisters. Namaste from India. And I want to thank you from doing this and continuing to work for WEF Argentina. Especially in our times, they are getting difficult around the world, but you are like the sunlight. You are giving hope, you're giving sunshine, you're giving energy to every woman around the world, and right now to me. So thank you, Lina, Giselle, Carolina, and everybody in the WEF Argentina team for working so hard and also working with your heart, which is so, so beautiful and so empowering. And this is really the gift of the whole journey of the Women Economic Forum. And like any journey or like any big tree which begins to give fruit, we must remember it began with a small seed. And the small seed was just a desire that why can't women in the world be happy and have their fair share of success, fulfillment, joy, delight, and participate in a more empowered way in their own lives and in the lives of society and everyone around them. And it was just a quest, a simple desire, a simple quest. And we started walking the path. And the initial idea was that if we want the world to understand us, if we want equality between women and men, then we first must come together as one between women and women. Because when we talk about women, there is no one woman. There are women and women and women. Half the world is women. So if we women are not going to understand each other or are not going to work for each other, with each other in a more conscious, intentional way, then how can we expect others to understand us? So ours was born as a sisterhood movement, the All Ladies League, as a she for she movement, because by helping Lina, by helping Giselle, I, Harbeen, am helping myself. And that is the realization and understanding that we wanted women to have, that we are there to help each other. And we simply have to reach out to each other in a space of sisterhood, support, respect, kindness, and see each other as the biggest collaborators. Women are women's biggest collaborators. And we wanted this to become the mainstream thinking rather than the old world narrative of women are women's worst enemies. We have come a very long way from that sort of narrative. And today I'm so proud to see and say that we are seeing all over the world because of the beautiful things set into motion by the All Ladies League, by the Women Economic Forum, and by women such as yourself all over the world who resonated with our message. This feeling was also inside their heart, but somebody had to start a movement. Somebody had to sort of tap into this latent, innate feeling that we all had, but sort of it never manifested and crystallized into a reality. And so it was easy. We simply had to light the lamp of love, and we got so much love from all over the world. And frankly, it was a very smooth journey in a way, because we did have initial why, what we are doing, but I think very quickly women got it. We understood, and that is why just in a matter of 5 years, 2015 is when we had the first Women Economic Forum in Goa, and 2020 when we had just completed the 35th edition in Egypt, where you all joined us with a beautiful delegation from Latin America. We have seen the phenomenal unity we've been able to have amongst women from all over the world, all cultures, all faiths, all generations. And not just women, women have brought in their sons, their daughters, their husbands, their brothers, their fathers, their mothers. It's been really about all, which is what is in the heart of every woman, to make sure that everyone is nurtured. And this is what we wanted to bring out. Then when you create a better world for a woman, she creates a better world for all.
Thank you. Harbeen, yo te quería preguntar, quería que hablemos un poquito de lo que fue el WEF Global, esta gala anual que se realizó por primera vez fuera de India, en el Cairo, Egipto, y tuvimos el honor de participar y de tener un panel exclusivo de argentinas. Y la suerte de participar porque volvimos y se decretó la pandemia. ¿Cuál es el balance que sacás de este nuevo formato, de haberlo hecho fuera de India por primera vez? ¿Y cuáles son las experiencias que rescatás de este evento en particular?
Thank you, sisters. So as you know, every year the annual event was held in India ever since 2015. And then we started holding the regional events all over the world, like the one in Argentina, we held in Mexico, in Colombia, really all over the world, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, with thrice in the Netherlands, in the UK. So we've had about, as I said, 35 editions, including the annual ones in India and the regional ones all over the world, and in different cities of India as well. We had in Madurai, we've had in Guwahati in the northeast of India. So that was the format. And every time we've done, from the first to the second to the third, all these 35 editions, I've simply followed a soul sister who said, I want to do something. She raised her hand and I just followed her. And this is what happened really with the annual WEF, where we got a very prestigious invitation from the government of Egypt to hold which is from the National Council of Women, headed by my dear, dear soul sister, Dr. Maya Morsi, who brought to us an invitation to bring the global annual event to Egypt. She would work towards getting us the AGs of the president of Egypt. Now, this was the first time that a head of state of a very big country was lending us his prestigious auspices, his name, under which the annual event would be held. Now, that was a great validation and a great sort of celebration of the journey that we had been doing on our own with sisters, with the love of sisters. This was the first time that a head of state would lend the office of the president's AGs and support would come on the annual event. And as I said, this was important, but more important for me was that this was being passionately, lovingly led by a very dear soul sister, Dr. Maya, who made all these, with a lot of love and esteem and respect. They invited us to Egypt. And I just thought, we have opened our hearts to every new opportunity that has called us with love. So why not? And we just went, and you all saw the magic. It was one of the most beautiful, grand, majestic events that we've held, fit like the queens of Egypt.
Thank you. Thank you. Harbeen, yo quería preguntarte, como bien refirió Giselle, cuando volvimos de Egipto se desata la crisis sanitaria producto del COVID-19. ¿Cómo ves que ha afectado y si ha afectado de manera diferenciada a las mujeres esta crisis sanitaria? ¿Y cómo ves la situación de la mujer en India, en tu país?
I think the situation has caught everybody by surprise, off guard. It's really brought a meltdown in the whole world, which in Indian thinking, you always say, if there is a destruction of old forms, it's a way of reconstructing the new form. So I would like to look at it like that there is a shift from the old to the new. And yes, it has affected a lot of lives, not just health-wise, but economically, socially as well. There's been a lot of ruptures across the world, everywhere. And I think it's the first time that the whole world is united in feeling a certain thing in a certain way. And we all know something is shifting, something is changing, and the old world is the old way of doing things is not going to continue anymore, and a new way of thinking the world and imagining the world and doing things is required. And that affects everything: society, economy, health, all the different industries that are impacted, and it's no different in India. How it has affected women? Definitely, I mean, there are recessionary trends in the economy everywhere. And there is more of caretaking in the homes, there's more of homeschooling, there's more of elderly care. And women are at the forefront, as always, taking care and holding the fort and taking care of everything. And this is the reason, as you were there in Egypt, you heard us announce the She Economy initiative for next year. This is what we had thought on the 4th of March, 2020, when we announced that we would be launching She Economy, a global marketplace for women entrepreneurs worldwide to sell their goods and services, and we would do it by next year. However, when we all came back, and like you said, the local health crisis just escalated to a global one, and everything in the past 2 months has just completely changed, which is when we, just after that, we realized that we had to prepone. Of course, it requires resources, and we are a non-profit, and whatever. So we had to find a way to launch this digital marketplace, because everything is moving digital. People are traveling less, things are moving digital. So it is also an opportunity for women to reclaim the digital space much, much more than they have, and for us to convert our powerful global network into a powerful global marketplace. And this is what the She Economy endeavor is going to do, is that in these testing times, especially for women entrepreneurs, create an ecosystem, enable, empower, and facilitate a woman entrepreneur to find new markets, to expand her global reach, and to scale and succeed. So yes, it's challenging, but out of challenges, if you keep up your optimism and keep up your positive spirit, then you will find the next step that needs to be taken, and you take it fearlessly.
Harbeen, hablando sobre She Economy, que recién nos comentaste un poquito cómo se lanzó, se tuvo que anticipar por esta crisis sanitaria. contanos un poquito más en detalle de qué manera se conectan las mujeres en todo el mundo a través de esta plataforma online, y particularmente si crees que estas nuevas formas de trabajo, estos nuevos portales que unen de alguna manera perspectiva de género y modernidad, si van a marcar la diferencia en este contexto que estamos viviendo, este nuevo contexto que estamos viviendo a raíz de la pandemia.
As you know that we are a network of 200,000 women across over 120 countries everywhere in the world, and we are growing by referral through our events, through our outreach. We are growing every day, and we have a mission million as well. So in the next 2 years, we want to reach 1 million members and supporters all over the world. Now, from an economic, from a portal, from a platform perspective, that translates into a huge community of vendors, sellers, merchants, who will be putting up, not 1 million, of course, there will be, let's say, 10,000, 20,000 people putting up their products, their different kinds of goods, their different kinds of services. By the way, it's the first time there's a platform dedicated to women offering services as consultants, as coaches, as mentors, which is a very large proportion of women in different sectors. So we are looking at, again, a huge community of women all over the world, which will not only be consumers or customers on these portals, on the platform, but also energize the community of entrepreneurs. Because when you come to the platform and you see very, very inspiring works, enterprises started by women, where women are doing all over the world, and you will have it country-wise, you'll have it sector-wise. And when you see that, it's very inspirational and empowering for a woman sitting anywhere in the world to feel that she can dream too, that she can do it too, and that she can come and set up, an account and start selling her stuff, and she can find customers, people who will look at what the goods and the services that she has to offer us as an entrepreneur, and widen her reach. So I think it's very empowering from a feeling perspective. Of course, it's very empowering from a platform perspective, and the reach and the community that we have, that of course is there. But I think it's more empowering from a feeling perspective that, oh, I can do this too. If I dream it, I can do it. I can dare it, because there is a support system, there is an enabling platform, which is not just about commerce, but which is about connections, which is about community, which is about conversations, which is about business to business collaborations, and coming up with new businesses. So for instance, if there is a painter in India and there is a product designer in Argentina, you can collaborate and come up with new niche products that are not available. From a market perspective, these would be very niche products which are not available on mainstream portals which usually offer mass-produced goods. These would be niche, labors of love offered by women. These would be unique, creative, and there is no platform from a pure positioning point of view. There is no platform in the world which offers products made in goods and services from women entrepreneurs all over the world, niche products, which also has a community. So I think when you put everything that we have got together as a beautiful bouquet, there is no other platform in the world existing like that for anybody, leave alone for women. So I think it's a great new stride. I ask for divine blessings to support this project, as well as the divine has supported the All Ladies League and the Women Economic Forum, and why not? Things will go on very well. Yes, it is challenging even for us to put it together, because it does require a lot of resources, and as we all know, these are very testing times, but our family foundation is doing whatever we can to make it happen. And June, this is the month when we are talking, that I'm hoping and praying and working very hard to bring the first version of the sheeconomy.in to all of you.